Hello friends, this is Growl. Welcome to Wafflecat Weekly number 11, I think. The thumbnail will know better than I. We're a little bit late. We've been tied up in some stuff lately, but I thought, well, we may as well just save the vaults and open them for a video anyway. We'll talk about the affixes, even though they aren't super exciting. It's kind of a boring time in WoW. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news. Wish everyone the best of luck who's been grinding up there, you know, if you're trying to finish your KSM or your cutting edge or your whatever achievements, but it's been pretty boring lately. Hopefully we'll get another couple push weeks at the end of the season, but for now we're just kind of vibing. So let's open our boxes and we'll see what we got. Unfortunately, I did not do a Blood DK weekly key. I just thought about opening my Blood DK box, and I realized that I don't even think I played my Blood DK once. Okay, well, unfortunate we actually got a very good ring for Mistweaver, but this is a ring that we already have. So we are going to send the tokens. Is our only option. Buy some research, even though we probably will never use it on this guy. We can hope every week that one day we'll need to get sockets and gear out our Mistweaver. Honestly, our gear isn't too bad, you know. The big thing that we're missing right now on a lot of our characters is just our Dom sockets. That's, I think, the big pressure point right now for gearing in this season, is getting Dom sockets. You basically need to raid at a mythic level if you want to get those. Otherwise, you're just kind of stuck with like random vault gear, and it feels kind of bad if you want to catch up like an alter new character. But oh well. Let's be honest, we're a Mistweaver. No one's gonna invite us anyway. All right, let's check out our priest. It looks like I played Holy for our weekly this week. Let's see what we got. We got pants that are haste mastery, and I'm currently using 226 haste verse leech. As much as I oh, I understand now. Okay, we're gonna take these pants and we're gonna use them for holy spec. I'm wondering why I'm using 226 pants. It's because normally I use the Kyrian Lego for pants, but for holy, I never really grabbed one. So here we go. We have some pants for our holy priest now. We'll even save this gear set. Actually, let me not do that. I'll save that for later. Alright, so we got some usable stuff. Really, let's be honest. The only thing we care about is, can we get these freaking shoulders on our Paladin? We've been waiting for many weeks. We have, our gear is so good, but for now we'll try our Druid. See what we got. Our Druid still needs to replace this stupid trinket. I guess it's just a stat stick for now. Oh no, Imperial Ordnance. If I had played Moonkin, I don't know, is this still a trinket for Moonkin? I don't even know. I never play that spec anyway, so I think I'll just grab the tokens. It's kind of an interesting trinket, actually. Would I use this? Hold on, I'm thinking. Imperial Ordnance or Lingering Sun Mote? Whatever. I'm never gonna use those tokens anyway. Let's just run Imperial Ordnance on a Resto Druid anyway. Maybe it does decent damage. Somebody's gonna have to find out if it's a good trinket, right? May as well be me. Boom. Alright, we have our Imperial Ordnance Resto Druid. You definitely lose a lot of damage by running a mastery heavy trinket, but maybe the damage from the trinket will make up for it. And my other trinket is a changeling anyway, so I don't think it matters too much. Not like I have to worry about running double on use. Let's see what our shaman has. Our shaman did at least 4 keys last week. We were doing some sales and just kind of vibing for the stream, so I know we have at least some keys. The problem is there's not really much for our shaman to get anymore. You could use a shield, but again, mostly our shaman is deprived of raid gear. Let's see what we got. Crit mastery weapon. Nope. Not today. I'm surprised our shaman only did less than 4 keys. I could have sworn I did a few shaman keys this week, but I guess towards the end of the patch everything is starting to blend together. Alright, now it's time. It's truly time for our Paladin. We actually got an upgrade from Raid this week. We got 2. Our Paladin gets very small upgrades, but when you do get them, it feels very good. So here are the upgrades our Paladin got this week. We haven't been doing any keys or really doing anything, but since we're clearing Mythic Raid every week, we can sneak a couple pieces. So the first piece I got an upgrade of the Terragru shield. And it has avoidance on there now, so I'm very happy to have 1 piece of avoidance. I didn't have any before, and it helps quite a bit. And then I also got speed gloves, so now we're up to 6% leech, 5% avoidance, and 18% speed. We're zooming. But the last piece we need is the Sylvanas shoulders. We've been hunting for these for a very long time. I believe we did 9 bosses, so we have 3 shots at it. Will today be the day? Let's find out. Let me check loot spec. Alright, loot spec is holy. Only because sometimes I go on Guardian spec to try and help people get trinkets. Oh, we did not do 9. How did we not do 9 bosses? I guess we only did 6. That is very unfortunate, and these are 2 very junky trinkets. Is there anything here we could use? Crit mastery weapon. No, we have a crit verse speed weapon. We wouldn't use this. This is like technically a thing for raid, I think, maybe, but I don't really care that much. We already have these shoulders too. Gosh. Unlucky. Unlucky. Guess we just take our research. I don't think there's any of me using any of those items. One day. Probably, the way it works for me, usually the very last week of the patch, I'll get the shoulders, and then it'll be like, okay, nice, we finally got them. But our Bally's gear is very, very good now. We have multiple leech pieces, multiple speed pieces. We have an avoidance piece now. And our gear is basically full best in the slot. I don't remember if I showed this off last week, but I got a leech haste verse cape as well to replace my mastery one. So I have basically everything I need except for these dang shoulders. But they never drop in raid, and I never get them in my weekly vault. Is unlucky. Let's talk about the week. You know, I'll be honest, I've been streaming and YouTubing quite a bit less these last couple weeks. It's just a mix of some stuff going on in my real life that has been difficult, as well as WoW hasn't been too exciting lately. I'm definitely looking forward to 9.2. I'm not like, you know, quitting or playing Final Fantasy or anything, but it's just been hard to be motivated to do much in a WoW lately. So this week is Fortified, Bolstering, Quaking, Tormented. From what I've seen of the affixes, this is one of the hardest sets. However, they've changed Bolstering so that it only lasts 20 seconds. So that may make it a bit easier. It's definitely a bit more pug friendly, where if you bolster something stupid that you shouldn't be bolstering, which happens a lot in pugs, you just have to wait out the 20 seconds and then the mob is fine. So I think the changes that they made to bolstering are very, very good, and quaking is pretty chill as well. You have to be a little careful about quaking. You just want to have the right mix. Like, you don't want to have 5 melee DPS during quaking because it can be a bit messy, but at the same time, like, the more casters you have, like, usually only casters are affected by quaking. As for keys this week, I don't know if I would recommend pushing much. Bolstering can be annoying in a lot of dungeons. It's not going to be terrible, especially after the changes, but like certain areas like Ardenweald and DOS or halls, when you're doing these sorts of pulls where you have so many mobs that have varying HP levels, it can be very annoying to deal with bolstering. So this is a week where I would just kind of vibe, like, if you really want to push, you know, whatever keys you can, but it's definitely not great. And a lot of times you have to tailor routes specifically off of bolstering. Like, for example, you can see our halls route here. We generally like to pull this 5-pack with the boss, but this would be this would be very messy to pull off on bolstering. So I feel like the problem with bolstering and inspiring is that it forces you to change the way you route dungeons if you do hard keys, and most people just aren't willing to, like, you know, why go through all that and make our routing worse just for, you know, for this 1 week. But in a Pug Weekly 15, everything is fine. You know, a lot of dungeons like Mists will be really chill. You know, any dungeon where you can just go in a straight line and you're not pulling super big, like Theater of Pain, for example, these dungeons will be pretty chill. The main thing you just have to worry about is bolstering, and in a lower level key, it's not the end of the world if you bolster a mob, especially considering that the bolster will wear off. So as much as I'd like to give you an in-depth analysis of this week, I just feel like this is mostly a chill week. I wouldn't worry too much about pushing high keys or doing any hard stuff. We have a couple good weeks coming up. They haven't announced 9.2 yet, so I assume that these 2 weeks right here, Bursting Volcanic Tyrannical and Spiteful Fortified Grievous, we're probably going to get these two, because it'll be like mid-February. So before you get sad about, oh, these weeks suck, I can't push score or whatever, just know that it's pretty likely that we'll get some decent weeks coming up soon. So either way, that was it. That was our vault opening. Appreciate you guys, and just so you know, the Zero to Hero series is still continuing. I mentioned that I've been like bored of WoW or whatever, but that's all recorded, that's all being edited. That should be on a schedule and coming out maybe like every 4 or 5 days. We already have the new episode ready for you soon. So I appreciate you guys watching that. I appreciate all the comments. I'm thinking about doing a like Q&A episode, because I recorded all the episodes beforehand, right? So I can't necessarily in one of the episodes answer the questions that, or like make any changes, because I've already recorded everything. But I'm thinking about doing a in-between episode where I just like talk about some of the comments that I've gotten on the videos, and like maybe some of the things I would do differently, or things that I would change, or maybe address some of the questions that people have. Like, a lot of people are wondering, like, oh, why did you go Night Fae, or like, oh, what if you went Alliance, or, you know, just like those sorts of questions. So if you have anything that you're wondering about the Zero to Hero series, feel free to drop a comment either on this video or any of the Zero to Hero series vids, because I'm probably going to go through a lot of the comments on the videos and maybe do like a, I don't know what you'd even call it, frequently asked questions, or just like comment responses where I talk about everything. So either way, that wraps up this week. Sorry for the late vid, but I still appreciate all you guys. I wish you guys good luck in whatever key adventures you're doing this week. Take it easy, friends, and happy keying.